This is a 723rd production.
Sponsored by Heal What Nels Love.
Coming in strong.
All the time.
You already know what it is. It's Real Life, Real Views podcast with your host, A. Smith and Nels Love, where our traumas do not define us.
That was different.
You know, I'm doing it different. This is the grand finale episode.
Yo.
You understand what I'm saying? We did 10 episodes. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and spread the word. You understand what I'm saying? Today we got a special guest, and I'm doing things different. That's why she's looking at me, because I'm stealing her time. Today in the building with us is Anthony Anderson, Mr. Ant himself.
What's
from
going
the
on?
Road to Victory podcast.
Mr. Fantastic and only improving.
As you can see, we are repping
for my brother
today.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, Nels, go ahead, do your thing.
I'm
I
doing
had
okay
to get
today.
that out. I had to get that out.
I'm doing okay
my
today.
bad. I forgot all about it. My bad.
I'm doing great. What about you guys? The fuck?
Nels is in the building too.
It's
for
2
sure.
seconds into the shit and you got me cursing. Like, I don't usually curse
This
until
is
the
true.
3rd minute.
That's why I was talking quick, because I wanted to get it out the way before she come and
Yo.
get at me.
Hello,
I wanted to
guys.
do my introduction. You see how I'm mixing shit up? I'm just switching up things.
Sis got Tourette's today.
Oh, I sound a little crazy. We're going to have to do it over there. What I'm doing, I'm not real. I tried to mix live. That's the problem.
No, I appreciate the introduction.
You appreciate it?
I felt that.
That's
She
what I'm
stole
talking
my
about.
introduction because I wanted to introduce my brother, my coworker turned friend, her family turned brother.
Yeah.
So when I lost my brother, I knew I still had, people that could hold the space for me, So thank you for being here.
No problem. I'm honored. I'm a fan. Glad to be here.
He watches every episode.
Every episode.
And it's not even on no fake shit. Like, he'll watch the whole thing, talk to me about it, tell me,
Appreciate that.
The last episode, I was like, why the bleep? What happened?
That was getting out of control, as you can see.
My mouth gets a little crazy sometimes, so they gotta
I'll never
cut me
even know.
off. It'd be my, my other people inside me speaking. But, I mean well. They mean well.
But we got Ant in the building. It's honored to be next to Ant today. I feel like I'm
This nigga's
interviewing
a legend in the making.
celebrity. You understand what I'm saying?
As seen on Ellen
Hey, don't.
DeGeneres.
Yo, Ant, I gotta give you your respect. Like, I feel like I'm thank you for being on here and closing out.
Right,
with us
he
today.
not too hot to Diddy yet.
Hey,
Thank you for being
First,
on here.
don't put all that pressure on me.
I'm putting it on you because I was tuned in, to some of your episodes and tuned in to the work that you've done, and I'm like, wow, he's coming on here. Thank God, that's your sister. Like,
Yeah, we probably wouldn't be able to book him.
we would have been able to book you any other day.
Niggas,
though.
I don't fuck with peasants. Your first season, ew. Yo, so let's start this off by
Let's
me
start it
telling
off.
you how proud I am, because when we met, we were both in different places.
Right.
And me knowing you personally, you've come a very long way.
Still got ways to go.
But I have to acknowledge the growth that has happened, because you've come far. And I just have to congratulate you. You're working very hard and you're staying focused and you're doing the damn thing. And you also motivate me.
Yeah.
So, we were talking about our own podcast for a while, but I needed to get this one done first before I was able to move on to anything else. And now that I did what we needed to do, I can cheat. And
This is crazy.
more coming.
I'm not even about to get into that with Nels on the camera. She's crazy if she thinks she's leaving me.
I'm not leaving. I'm just cheating. They
But,
cheat and they come back.
The first thing I want to get to is this hoodie, fantastic and only improving. And I heard, that's your slogan.
Yeah.
Like, you live by that. Where did that come from? How did that help you, or where did it come from that you put the message on a sweatshirt?
It comes from trauma. It's this story that Patrice O'Neal tells, the late great Patrice O'Neal. he says that a lot of times we're a Superman and we're a Superwoman, right? But we're on planet Krypton, so everybody has, like, they could leap buildings and catch bullets with their teeth.
Okay.
And stop speeding cars, speeding trains, and stuff like that. I know I butchered the whole Superman stuff, but you know,
this is real life, real views. We butcher shit all the time. Don't feel bad.
But being on planet Krypton, you know, that's regular to the regular eye. But when you get around certain people, they say, "Oh shit, that's a superpower." You know, you could fly, you could leap buildings and stuff like that. So a lot of places in life, they make you feel like Clark Kent, you know, and not realizing the Superman inside you, you know, sometimes you never tap into that. And
right.
I want to be living proof that we all Superman, Superwoman.
Right.
We all have this like superpower in us.
Right.
So it is about the journey, about finding your superpower, basically.
And believing in yourself.
So that's where that came from. You know,
and that's what you live by.
That's what I live by, absolutely.
And it's true. You ask him any given day, how you doing today? I'm fantastic, I'm only improving. Like, nigga, how you really doing? How are you really doing?
You know, I say that because there's power in it.
Yeah, it is.
You know, most people think it's for them, but it's for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like if I'm a stranger and I say that to another stranger and they face light up, I get a little, you know.
Because no one's expecting that.
Exactly.
Right.
Because you get the generic, I'm alright, I'm okay.
Under the circumstances, I'm okay.
Right. But you are saving room for improvement.
Right, absolutely. I don't preach perfection, so of course, only improving.
That's great. And what made you want to put it on merch to share it with everyone?
My good brother, he says that you can wear your heart on your sleeve. Why you can't wear your attitude on your chest? You know?
That's some real shit.
That's
some real shit.
You know, so that was just it. You know.
My boy became an entrepreneur. Yo.
Was it like overnight? You just thought, or you was hesitant?
It was basically because of COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, COVID, man. You know, here today, gone today.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, if I'm going to go, then I'm going to go out, you know, on empty. I want to do every idea that I have, everything that comes to me, I want to put it out in the universe, you know.
Gonna leave here, niggas gonna know my name.
We talking legacy, y'all.
This nigga said I'm gonna leave here, niggas gonna know my name. He wanna know
Ellen. Diggities.
Right.
Got the podcast. Yo, I was telling this man to start his podcast for God knows how long, and he just would not listen. I'm like, bro, start the podcast. Yo, we gonna do the podcast together? No, start your podcast, and then we gonna link up. Alright, you started the podcast? Nah. Like,
So
what's wrong with it?
Which route you went first?
What?
Podcast or the
together? The podcast first.
Oh, that okay.
Like, I started in a quick story about that. I started the podcast because I wanted to be an effective communicator. Like, I had no idea how to start a conversation, especially with strangers.
This
like,
is true, because our first encounter was horrible.
I met Jay Nels. The first time I seen her, I said, send nudes.
I was like,
send
yo,
nudes.
and if you know me personally, you know
straight
I
up.
Yeah. She was like,
and this is on the job.
Yeah, this is.
I said, I'm about to get paid because I'm about to put this nigga, I'm taking him to the HR. Say, oh, this nigga a creep? Cool.
and she accepted the creep in me, you know what I'm saying?
After I had to put him in his place, though.
But what gave you the coverage to just like come out like that? Because you said you ain't know how to start a conversation, so you figured starting it like that was the right way?
I said to myself, you know, I was practicing something. It was this thing called brutal honesty.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to keep it past the buck and conversations and what I want. How I want. I just want to be happy at the end of the day. Okay. So I'm just go the method of brutal honesty. You know, when you hear the word brutal, it's kind of bad, but you add honesty to it. You know, just like.
And it's like it turns into constructive criticism.
Right.
But you know, a lot of people don't receive that shit.
Yeah.
He was so lucky that
the right way.
One of my demons was just like him, because that could have went so left. And I'm just happy it was me and not anyone else.
And this is a testament, right? We meet today. She gives me a hug. She said, "Thank you for coming." And the spirit just told her, hit me in the face.
It was an accident, I promise.
She definitely chin checked me.
That was like 5 years worth of payback.
That's the relationship.
This is my only chance. The universe works in mysterious ways, guys.
Oh man. So you started your podcast. How did you start out? What was your first steps into getting into that?
Oh, that was basically, all right, it was basic English, basically. I was like, all right, I'm going to go through the day. Everything I got from the day, I'll lay it down on the podcast.
Okay.
So what I was doing, I was going to work, observe everything at work, and then I would walk home. The trip was like 5 miles, so I would walk home and analyze everything, and then try. I sucked at it. I was so bad at it. I'm still bad at it, but I tried to analyze everything that I saw and put it into like sentences and stuff like that to lay on the podcast format, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just went home, press record, and let it all out.
Let it all out and try to make sense of everything, you know.
That's his day-to-day life, though.
Right. Let it all
Whatever's
out.
on his brain, he says it.
And that it made you feel good, like just getting that out of you?
Yeah, especially because I was working in a corporate place. So I know, me being from the hood, they don't speak hood. So I'm like, damn, I have to learn the language.
Right.
You know, I have to learn the language. I have to learn the culture and stuff like that. What to say, what not to say. You can't be like, yo, son, you heard, show the game, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I had to just figure it out to try to blend in. But ultimately, I had to realize that, you know, you got to just be yourself regardless, you know.
And that's what got you to where you are today, being yourself. I mean, not being, because there's different versions of yourself.
Uh-oh.
I digress. But you did the right thing.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you being yourself just makes people love you even more.
It's all a process. Like, I'm still working. We still working.
For sure.
Right.
If you're not different than what you were yesterday, you're not on the right path. You have to change every day.
No question.
Even if it's one step, change.
Right.
No question.
How did you come up with your title for your podcast? Was it always Road to Victory?
It was always Road to Victory. I used to rap when I was like, from like 16 to maybe like 25.
Listen.
Let me hit a beat.
Don't get him started. We gonna turn this into battle rap.
Oh.
And
real life, real raps.
But I noticed every song that I wrote, I had the words Road to Victory on it because I knew it was coming from one place and the goal was to get to that other place. So I just call it the Road to Victory, you know, whatever make you feel victorious or your definition of success.
So let's get into that. What is your definition of success?
I found out my definition of success yesterday. For me, because everybody is different. My definition of success is getting out the bed when everything in your power telling you to go back to sleep. That's success for me.
Okay.
Everything in your power.
To get out and go handle your business.
Exactly. Go whether it's to go to the gym, go
whatever
to work,
it is.
Study what you need to study. You know, write what you need to write. You know what I'm saying?
We've become accountability partners where we hold each other accountable for doing the things that we struggle doing on our own, whether it's eating healthy, trying to work out a little bit, or, you know, just having conversations that you need to have and you just bottle up. So sometimes we be on the phone for 2 hours and we'll be talking like, yo, why the fuck we ain't record this shit? This is a podcast. And we get real deep and then it get raunchy and then we be all over the place. But like, this is a real, true, good relationship that we have. Friendship. Because saying relationship to another part of him would be another conversation after this, but this is a true friendship here, and I'm so appreciative of you.
I mean, not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
You played a lot in my success. Like all the times I don't know what I don't know because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I would lean to you to to help me, give me direction and stuff like that. You never failed me. You always picked up the phone. You never failed. So I appreciate that. Man.
And I be down and out, and I still, the little bit of strength I got in me, I still give. It'd be hard. I can't even help myself, but I help everybody else.
Let me tell you why. Because you see in the picture, the other person is in the picture, is in the frame, so we can't see in the picture. But with your eye outside the picture, you got a better view.
Yeah, because I do see like so much greatness.
Think you would see it because it's yourself. It don't work.
I can't even look in the mirror and be like, "You're great." You're a failure.
It's crazy though.
Yo.
That's what I wanted to just get back to with the writing the rhymes or rapping. How come like you don't feel like you went? I don't know if you did go all the way or to a certain extent with that.
Oh, that's because if I'm being honest with y'all, I gave up on everything that I tried. Everything that I started, never finished. That's the type of person I was.
Or maybe you just you did the victory. Like you went to the length of how far you're supposed to go with
because that was a long time.
You have to try things in order to figure out if it's for you.
Right.
If you don't try, that's where you fail. You didn't fail because you didn't continue. You succeeded. That's success.
Yo, my therapist says, you always too hard on yourself.
Black men go to therapy, guys. Did you hear it?
Yeah. She said, stop blaming yourself. Because when you blame yourself, you feel like shit, and then you start to get depressed.
Then you talk yourself down.
Yeah.
And it's a spiral.
Going back to that Superman complex. You know what I'm saying? The Clark Kent complex. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you wound up having to speak to a therapist.
Yeah, of course. Oh, the only reason I'll speak to a therapist, because this is how I got introduced. My boy was like, yo, bro, there's somebody out there in the world you could talk to, tell them anything, and they won't judge you? I'm like, who? He was like, yo, call this number. And that's how I got into therapy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But you felt like you needed that. You needed to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
To get it all out.
I have these crazy thoughts. Like, sometimes I'll be at the bus stop, and I'll be like, hey, how are you? And the person will be like, I'm fine. How you doing? I'll be like, fantastic and only improving. And I'm like, oh, that's good. And then I hear the voice in my head say, hit him in the jaw.
Like, say some dumb shit, do some dumb shit.
So I say, like, that shit gone though. You don't do no crazy shit like that no more.
Yo.
So you need somebody to control.
Oh man, yeah, you probably definitely needed that shit, and your parents too.
You need somebody.
That's why he glorified it. Like, let me make it sound good so this nigga don't be offended.
right. Yo, bro, let me tell you.
Yo, I know I ain't the only one. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be that severe.
Right. And that was just...
And hit him in the chest.
You the one started the conversation. He said he was good.
That's why you got punched in your face by accident.
Like, he even answered you. He didn't give you no problem.
You being nice. I gotta fuck you up.
Yeah, like, nigga, you should have never answered.
But I always wanted to go a layer deeper and understand why, and then understand that why, then understand that why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's growth. That's true growth.
Yeah.
That's true. You define every step that you're taking.
Absolutely, no question.
I'll take it back. So you're doing your podcast. I heard on one of your podcasts you was like, you thought you like you felt like you were a great basketball player.
Yes.
And never tried out for the team.
And never tried out. That goes back to, quitting before you even get started.
Right.
Quitting before you even
like you were in high school.
Yeah.
Right? So you good like on the street.
Yeah.
You busting, you doing what you gotta do.
First pick, they like, I got head.
But when it came to that time to belong to something, you was like, nah, that's not for me. Or I don't feel like you gonna be that top player with that team? Or
It's just the fear, man. Giving fear too much power. You shouldn't let anything have that type of power over you if it's not like spiritual.
Right.
Yeah, so I gave fear too much power.
Right.
I was never cool. But I was never cool, but I always said I won't be caught looking uncool. I was worried about that pressure.
Right, so you didn't think you would be top pick?
Yeah.
Because now you're not in the hood playing. You on a team, and they might bench you. Then the whole school might, like, you put it all in your old head.
Yeah.
And you said you let fear get the best of you. You was like, I ain't gonna be on there. I'm good, but I'm not that. I don't know. Like, was just thinking like.
I mean, it took me a long time to realize you can't care what everybody thinks. Mm-hmm. Because nobody cares regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Whether you would have been good? Because you would have been good. Anyway. Yeah, you could have been
get judged anyway.
Yeah, you could have been good on the team.
Or bad.
Exactly.
So what would you tell your younger self?
To go for it. I would tell them go for it. Get that girl. Get that basketball team. Get that scholarship. Get that education. Go for everything that you can control. Even today, when I heard something, when you look in the mirror, it's not you that you're looking at. It's a whole other person that, depending on your success, depending on, you to be brave, courageous, strong, intelligent, that's who you're looking at when you're in the mirror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you just gotta make the right choice.
Exactly. That's what it's about, making the best decisions.
Did you start struggling with that in high school or maybe younger?
Younger? Always. It wasn't until
tough decisions.
Yeah. It's like being in the right environment and programming yourself, man. Because if I would have stayed the same, I would have always thought like people that spoke proper English talk white.
Right.
We used to tease the smart kids, say, you're going to be somebody someday. You know what I'm saying? And like,
It's true.
And that's why people like where we grew up have like the confidence issues, the low self-esteem.
Yes. But right now, everything we're doing right now, like even this podcast, your clothing line, everything I'm doing, everything she's doing, we're creating the new normal.
Absolutely.
For anybody that comes up behind us or looks up to us, this is now the new normal. They're going to be born into families that own their own businesses.
Right.
Yo, look at the work field. Like when this pandemic hit, a lot of people started to figure out that we don't even need jobs because we are the job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we could find resources to live the lives that we supposed to live. The lives that we deserve and give it to us.
When I started gardening, I was like, I don't have to buy peppers from the store. I can grow, like I grew a big ass zucchini out the fucking dirt in my backyard.
The emoji zucchini.
You're thinking about the eggplant, but
the eggplant.
You see, Antonio is creeping through. That's who I met Antonio first. We'll introduce him later. But so like when I started growing my own shit, like parsley and mint, growing up in the projects, I didn't know what the fuck mint was.
I'm like, what the hell taught you how to
Only thing I knew about mint was gum. 25-cent gum. So when I started, like, I bought seeds one day and I was like, fuck, let me see what happens. The shit started growing. I went crazy with it. I planted everything and then it was like too much and I overwhelmed myself. But it was such an eye opener. Right. I'm like, you don't have access to shit like this when you live in the P's and you grew up in the hood. Nobody talking about this. Like, adults don't even know about it.
Everybody tried to plant the little seeds that came in the $5 nickel bag.
Grow your own weed.
Water in it. They shit work.
They gave up after a week. So this shit ain't growing.
This shit ain't growing.
So with your experience, right? Would you prefer an overnight success or success you have to work for?
Success you have to work for, because that builds character.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you could, if it's overnight, you could lose it overnight.
Mm.
You know? But if you go through, like, the obstacles, the trials and tribulations and failure after failure after failure, now you have a formula.
You learn to appreciate it.
So if you lose it, it's nothing to get it back.
Right, because you got the hustler spirit.
Exactly.
Yeah, people born into, like, families and they get silver spoons, they don't have the hustle.
Yeah.
So if their venture doesn't go the way they think it should go, or, you know, they say they failed, it breaks them down entirely. With people like us, coming from the hood, we go harder.
Right. But that's why they say, like, my father drove Mercedes. I drove a Rolls Royce. My son would drive a Ferrari. His son would walk. You know, his son would walk, because when it's easy, it's hard. When it's hard, you make it easy.
Right.
You know?
At what point in your life you was like, Aunt Diggity is not playing. The fair shit gotta stop.
Today. I was like, yo, I'm scared I won't fit between the tables.
Nah, you doing your thing though. I saw you got the sweaters moving. You understand what I'm saying? You was on Ellen's show. Like, things started, like, it started happening to you. It started happening for you.
But he's so humble.
You know, it was getting around the right people, man. People that have what you want and people that not. You know, it was the environment for me, bro. Like, when I see people, you know, executing at a high level, at the highest level, and doing their thing, you know, I wanted that. So I wanted to try to include myself in that circle. So I knew it couldn't just be come to work and pull up for a check like a Nike sock. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I had to.
He's still trying to rap.
Bars.
Yeah,
Bars. He looked like, did y'all get that? You got it. We got it. We got it. Caught it.
Yo.
But yeah, it couldn't have been just clock in, clock out, go home, get a beer, and watch TV. It had to be. I knew that, you know, I owe it to myself. You know, I owe my moms, my family, and stuff like that.
And that was your motivation.
So your work field inspired you.
Yeah.
The way you was working at, you saw it was in front of you. Like, nah, there's more out there. I could join them more.
And I started picking their brains, see what they were like off the camera when they not working, and they were still working. They was basically still working.
Yeah, I could say that environment that we were in did motivate me too.
Absolutely.
And it was, right, security.
Yeah.
Security at CNN, and both the same place where you was
we
at
worked
too.
at HBO together.
HBO, CNN, security. And sometimes I thought security just gotta sit at posts.
No.
Right?
It's not just that.
No, I'm just saying, from my picture painted that they gotta sit at posts, which that probably wasn't your case because you was able to speak to people. Yeah. So you didn't have to sit at posts, you was able to engage with the people that was there filming and everything.
Right. But it's different. It's some shitty people there.
Yeah.
It's some great people there. What the difference is character. You know, the other day I was going into on the train, and a homeless person, he would ask me for change. Mm-hmm. I was like, I ain't got it. He said, no worries. I love you still. And that what? You know, how do you say that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's character. That made my whole day when he said that. I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
Right.
And I've never seen him before, none of that. So it's character.
That was his version of Fantastic and Only Improvement.
Exactly. Not even that. On a deeper level, it was like energy. is contagious. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but his version of fantastic and only improving.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he didn't get upset
Right.
with the reply.
Exactly.
But and then, like you said, when you say you're fantastic and only improving to people, it's for you. Him replying to you uplifted himself.
Right.
So, yeah, you just gotta, even when you're in the slums, you have to find something that gets you out. If you don't have the support
and
around
the
you.
surroundings, like he said.
Yeah, if you don't have that support around you. Because, like, even when we were working together, I was cool with a lot of employees that I never thought would speak to me. You know what I'm saying? I had a uniform on, and I still speak to them to this day. And I haven't worked there in some years now. But I was like, why you know my name? Like they call you know me like they call me by my first name. Right. You see my last name. Call me by that. Mad familiar. They friends on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. At first I was weird about it, but they were just regular people.
Right.
You got your good people, your bad people, your good energy.
But you know the bad people just didn't speak. You say good morning, they didn't even
That's
look
not
at
the energy
you.
you wanted anyway.
No. but let me tell you, I made a mistake. It's not the bad people, it's just that the people that probably come from a different walk of life and my struggle was I wanted to get better at it. Some people just don't want to get better at communication and human interactions. You know what they call it, introverts and extroverts. And stuff like that.
They just want to stay to self.
Yeah, because I don't want to sit here and paint everybody that don't talk as a bad person.
Yeah, that's true.
My first day at the job, when we started speaking, I came there saying, I ain't making no new fucking friends. Right. And then I left with like 9 of y'all. But minus 2.
Because like he said earlier, too, you just jumped in judging.
Right. No, I'm going into this,
but I'm not talking to
I've had experiences at other jobs where, I went in there nice and then I wanted to beat bitches up because they were like so nasty. So I said, fuck it. Any new job I start, I know I'm only there to work. I'm not making any friends. And then I go there not to make friends and left with so many.
I mean, as a man, you a new woman at the job. I'm like,
you want it. Yeah, you want it.
Yo, they put me through some shit there. Like, everybody, it was annoying. It was so. He was the first post I went to, and he was like, send news. I'm like.
She was like, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm like, you gonna leave your phone?
I left my phone charging, and he was like, oh, I saw your naked pictures. I'm like, what? Like, this is my first day. What a welcome.
Room for improvement.
Yeah, man.
But he just set a weird tone for me because then, like, I had to get trained by another guy at the job, right. And I'm looking at him, so I was like, are you the same? Ultimately, they all became creeps, but then, once they got cool with me, I was like, y'all barking up the wrong tree because I like the same thing y'all like.
I was like, oh,
then it was tight.
I'm about to give you the check, my whole check.
If I was straight, I would have had so many checks from there, but it was a good experience.
So you have the merch, and where did you get, like, the intel on how to start moving this merch? And creating this merch and getting it out there to actually sell it and get people to buy it and explain your story, all that good stuff that we don't know.
So it was like a puzzle. Like anything in life, you just put the pieces together and stuff like that. I knew Nell had her own website and stuff like that, so I asked her to, guide me through and stuff like that, aka do it for me.
I was about to say, this nigga didn't do shit, man. He didn't do nothing.
I'll just tell you what I wanted to look like.
He sent pictures, he like, yeah, put this up. He'll call me like, yo, you busy? Can you put, nigga, can you do your own shit? I did his entire website. I'm like, you lucky I love you, son.
All of that. And, I had somebody that print the hoodies and stuff like that, so... it was just like a matter of...
It's a village.
Yeah, it's a matter of getting the ducks in order.
Right. But that's when you realize, like, who is here for real.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he even was like, just let me know how much I need to pay you. I'm like, nah, you stressing me out, but I'm not doing this for money.
So you got it all.
I want you to, succeed.
All great. Now, how you market it? Because now that's on you to get it out there and to get the sales up.
So it was like it was a couple of strategies. give a couple away for free. You know, especially like high influencers. You know, that'll wear it.
That was the plug.
Yeah, that'll wear it. That worked for a while. Then just like advertisement, like the same way that you can step out this house, see a McDonald's at the bus stop, a McDonald's art sign on the highway, a McDonald's on the train, McDonald's on the billboard, and then when you walk by McDonald's, you like, oh shit, let me get some McDonald's.
Inside, yeah.
Let me get some McDonald's. So that was another way advertisements through like social media and stuff like that. I haven't got to like just pulling out a table and selling shirts.
Oh yeah,
they doing it's big on the pop-up shops now. Pop-up shops.
But he came to one of my pop-up shops.
It's big now, like it gives you a lot of networking.
He looked a little overwhelmed. He was like,
so it'll be work.
Yeah, that'll be a good
It could be work because there's a lot of traveling to get that sale hand to hand and mailing. And like it could get overwhelming, and then you working, you know, and then you going home and relieving it through the podcast and making it sound like what ain't diggity day to day.
Right.
Just
that was always the busier I am is better for me because I get a lot of, like my worst enemy is free time.
okay.
My worst enemy is free time. Like I don't know what to do with myself in the free time. So if I don't have a routine, my results are off. If my routine is off, my results are off. So it's like that's what we talk about, structure and have a plan. My uncle always said, if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. And that's just like the
so
God.
You stay busy.
Yeah, stay busy.
You okay with staying busy, losing sleep?
Just
everything. Making sure you're doing what you got to do for self.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you have like goals. Your goals don't even have to be like huge. You can have like small goals and stuff. Like a goal of mine is like stop eating out and cook. You know, the last month for the first time in my life, it's just been me in the kitchen doing dishes and stuff like that.
You could cook or you learning to cook?
No,
he's trying.
My food tastes like ass and foot.
But you eating it.
Yeah, I'm eating it.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Imagine where you were before, and we were having these conversations for years.
Right.
And I was, telling you stop eating like that.
Yeah.
And then you would try for 2 days and then go right back.
Yeah.
Or you'll eat something healthy late in the day and then go fuck it up and pick out. But this accountability shit, like how is it working for you?
Oh, it's great. It's great. When you have the right people behind you and supporting you, because a lot of us are not, is the Clark Kent, a lot of us are not strong enough alone. A lot of us are, but a lot of us are not strong. We need that little push.
Yeah.
We need, I hate to say this, but we need somebody to like, you remember when you was in school, you got 100 on the test and you showed somebody and they were so happy for you.
Sometimes, put it on the refrigerator.
We need that, put it on the refrigerator.
Right.
I know that's like instant gratification and
I think it's motivation.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I see your work. Like, to be seen, I feel like it's needed as human beings because, yes, I mean, I'm not working to prove anything to anyone, but to know that my work is seen makes me feel like I should keep going.
Yeah. I mean, you ever did a good deed for somebody and it changed their whole energy and stuff like that, and that changed your energy? That's one of the best feelings in the world, you know?
I mean, that happened with, when you were asking me about the website and stuff. When you were asking me about the website, I was in one of my darkest times. Mm-hmm. I don't know where the fucking strength came from to do it, but I did it. And then when you was like, yo, Janelle, I really appreciate you. I'm like, oh shit, this nigga appreciate me? Oh my God, okay.
Yeah.
But like, you proud of yourself? Like, you appreciate yourself? Like, do you give yourself enough credit? Also, I know you say you want it from your people. You get that energy off of them. But do Anthony feel good?
No, I don't.
What?
I don't, because you know, my best friend is blind, and he tells me how I'm his hero. He look up to me and stuff like that. And even this is before any notoriety, before the Ellen, before the sweatshirts. He always used to be like, "Yo, you the man, you the man." You know what I'm saying? And I never saw it for myself, never, because all the things I did wrong, to me, outweighed all the things I did good.
Because you were so hard on. I mean, you
Being
still are.
hard on
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
because that's one of the things that's necessary also. To be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And to that keeps you going as well.
You have to
If, like you said, if
celebrate the
nobody
milestones.
ain't proud of you, even though you feed off that energy of taking it in, like glorify yourself. Like you proud of yourself. You did it. You put the work in. You asked nails, but you act nails for the for something that you needed that you wasn't good in that area. You asked her. You went out. You decided to do what you had to do to make it right. Your idea, like you said. This is what you have room for improvement, but you're going down the right path.
And that's why I tell him all the time, like, you've come so far. I'm so proud of you because I know he's like very hard on himself. So I choose to be more vocal about my appreciation for him.
You gotta give yourself props.
I mean, the biggest struggle for me is like, I know I can be confident, but I don't want to be cocky. So it's always like, I'm afraid of being confident because it come off as cocky,
But you have to celebrate the small milestones, the big milestones.
Yeah. Every step you take, like you said, like you were thankful for getting up and going to work. You did that. Yeah. Nobody was there to tell you, no, make sure you get up and go to work. Come on. You got these bills to be paid. You got this to do.
Those times you had to look in the mirror and tell yourself, keep going. You have to push yourself, tell yourself
you got to give yourself as much credit as you give everyone else. You love everybody for the support and the friendship and everything that they can be there for you, but you have to give yourself just as much credit.
I really, really have to work on that.
Yeah, and that'll help. That's a step of self-reflecting, helping yourself as well.
Because I know there's so much work to do. Like, there's so much.
But I constantly tell you, you are not where you were before.
Right, you try to, first of all, like you said, it's room for improvement. So there's no finish line, right? Until you over. So when you gonna wait to celebrate? If you gonna just continue to keep going. Right? It's no finish line. You're gonna continue to do this to stay on that path because that's you. You said it's room for improvement all the time. That's the truth.
Well,
no matter what status
you're
on.
You said your motivation behind starting the podcast was the pandemic because if people were constantly dying, right? So
no, that was the hoodies. The
hoodies. So
the podcast was trying to be a better communicator.
Yeah. So with that,
can I take a sip?
Yeah, I'm in
sipping. Drink what you want.
I thought these was plastic fruits.
All right.
So the Thanksgiving stuff.
Yo, this is the China.
Oh damn, then he was thirsty.
This guy asked permission.
No, I didn't see nobody else touching it.
So during the pandemic, you started the hoodies because basically, if you had to go out, you wanted to go out, and you did everything you wanted to do.
Yeah.
So imagine if you knew your expiration date. If you knew your expiration date, would you celebrate?
Would I celebrate? If I knew my expiration date, would I celebrate?
That's a nasty question, boy.
It is.
Don't ask me that shit.
I need another sip.
You was thirsty anyway.
Refill.
She was like, they don't drink on this show.
Nah, I wouldn't celebrate. I would still, maybe the last 24 hours, the last 24, 48 hours, if I knew my expiration date, I'd be trying to get every idea across, try to make up for every mistake, try to correct every mistake I made, and try to have an impact, as much of an impact as I can. It's like leaving something behind, man. Leaving something behind that.
So, but what drives you to want to leave something behind if you're not proud of what you're doing?
I guess that falls from trauma because nothing was really left for me in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So you would want to. It's like having kids. When you have kids, you want to give the kids what you never had.
Yeah.
So it's like that. You know, you want to leave something because nothing was left with you.
But we gonna work on that.
But how do you correct the already made mistake? You're gonna break, but like, how do you go about correcting an already made mistake?
Well, already made for
right, because you said you will try to correct all your mistakes. How are you gonna go about doing that?
It's like a sense of, it don't have to be an apology, but it's like the form of an apology. Like if you, it's the same way, like if you said something to somebody that you shouldn't have said, or you didn't mean, or you only said out by anger, or you did something, you know.
Accountability?
Yeah, accountability, responsibility, accountability. You know, it's like what was done for me, me being on Ellen, you know, I want to do that for somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, that deserves
it. So you have like this give back thing.
Yeah, of course.
I guess that I have that issue too.
Okay. Because I'm like, you can't correct the mistakes. Like, you could grow from it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But you feel like give back. If you feel like you was put in a position,
you
want to give back. And that's great. That's great. And you still have to feel good about when you're able to do something for somebody else.
I had to convince myself I deserved it. Like, I'm sitting there crying like, yo, I don't deserve this.
Getting on the show.
Yeah, getting on the show.
Getting on the show.
Why me? I don't deserve this. I haven't worked for this. Literally, tears coming down my eyes.
The lady praised you.
Yes.
And she, like how I'm saying it to you, you told her what she did for you, and she sat there and broke down what you did for her.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So right there, you kind of got the return and the deserve all at once.
Because
it happened all together.
Your slogan brightens people's days. You know.
Yeah.
They become a better person the way you greet them. It's like, oh shit. So now imagine, like, is someone higher up in CNN looks down on security, but then you greet him like, oh, I'm fantastic and only improving. He's like, why is this nigga in such a good mood?
They're like, how?
Like, this is your job and you're so happy. But then it changes, you know, how they think.
They gave him his props on the show and everything.
Yeah.
And, like, that's how I learned a little bit about you on watching that show or whatever. And they gave you a little bag too. And they gave you a bag right over. Like, your blessings are coming. That's why you gotta accept it. She gave you a bag, and you started to continue your printing. Yeah. Like, that was a blessing I dropped down, meaning you're doing right in the world.
But it don't feel right to me, and that's
too hard on yourself.
But that's the curse. That's the curse, and being on real life, real views. You know, where trauma doesn't define us.
Hello.
That's the trauma. That's the trauma that I go through. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's my trauma.
But it's a work in progress, though.
Right.
Because absolutely.
Your trauma doesn't define you, so you have to work through the trauma in order to get to where you want to go. Because you can't scream road to victory, but you don't want to celebrate your milestones.
Right, you don't want to never get really to the victorious side of it. Like, road you want victory. Your road to be super long. Like, do you vacation?
Yeah.
Like, that, it feels good, right?
Nah.
You don't like vacationing?
I see it for what it is. It's like peace and quiet, getting away from the city. But I don't see it as, you know, a celebration. Mm-hmm. You know, I see it as like a reset. All right, okay. Let's go reset, and then come back to the city ready to come back.
Because you really is resetting, because you're coming back to reality after vacation. So that's the truth. Not that you celebrating, but you do need the reset in time. Yeah. You do need the reset in time, and once you reset, you go right back into like maybe something new, or you just continue to try to finish off what you started. In a sense, like.
With a clear vision and stuff.
Right, with a clear vision of something new, or a clear vision of something you already doing.
or something you're already doing. I tell you, as soon as the plane lands back in the
back.
city, you like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Breathing is nasty.
Yeah, because it is. It's back. It's
what I
back
mean?
to it. It's back to it. And then New York is very different from everywhere.
You know,
anytime I land back in New York, I'll be like, fuck.
New York
yeah,
is very different from everywhere.
you know.
So what you want out of your podcasting? Like we forever podcasting?
Yeah, I'm a competitive person. I want to be the best. I always used to say I want to be the best, but I'm going to change it. I want to feel like I'm giving it my best.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to do in every area of my life. That's why I'm so hard on myself, because I know there's more to give, but it's like a combination code. I have to do the work to unlock it.
Right.
And, you know, I guess that's what makes me me. You know,
Yeah.
doing the work to unlock it. And, you know, things could, that's why I say only improving, because it always could get better. It always could be better.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you
That's
fucked up
true.
the slogan for me now. Only
It's
improving.
it's always room though.
Once
but he's not playing.
You take that fantastic. I was like, damn, it's a little depressing.
He's
now.
not playing with the improvement. It's for everlasting improvement.
Yeah.
So we're gonna work on the fantastic part.
All right.
Right.
Let's work on the fantastic.
Right. I think you forget the fantastic part sometimes.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And you focus, she's 100% right. And you focus so much on the only improvement that you drive crazy.
They trying to dissect me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gotta dissect you.
Welcome
You
to
understand
therapy,
what I'm saying?
brother.
We gotta get the hoodies and the what we just said they got. The pop-up shops.
Yeah.
We gotta get, you understand what I'm saying? Because the message is great.
Right.
The message is great. So I think you should push it. You could continue to push it. I said that you're not pushing it, but you can continue to push it. You don't have to say, okay, boom, I'm gonna go this way, because you said you want to be good at it. So
right.
you, like you said, you continue in your podcasting and you got certain things that you want to work on better.
Yeah.
And if you're working on your podcasting and you're working on this, they go hand in hand. Because it's messages in both. Right. Right? So if you take that lane and then you still go to work in your corporate world and you still do what you have to do there. And it all three connects.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you are working. You are improving. And like Nell said, she's right. You have to work on the fantastic.
You gotta feel fantastic.
Feel fantastic.
I mean, that for me, that's always been the starting line, you know. No matter how bad I feel, no matter how, that's always been the standard. You know, the fantastic for me is like, it could be worse. That's my fantastic. You know what I'm saying? So it's always fantastic.
Okay. But we're going to switch the top part around. You could always improve, but we want you to feel fantastic and celebrate the fantastic work that you're doing.
That you've been doing. Like, I just said, you got the bag on the show.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm telling it. They gotta go watch the show. We had to tell it. It's there. Shit, I watched it. I saw it, and that's why I was like, oh, okay.
Yo, you know,
who coming on the show today?
You know, I almost gave it away.
See what I'm saying?
I almost gave it
you gotta
away.
Focus. Yeah. This is too much. You good.
I was like, let me give it to somebody who I thought deserved it, like a charity or. You know, at the time, my uncle was looking for somebody. He was a guidance counselor. He was looking for somebody to speak to his kids. Mm-hmm. So I was ready to put up the money to have somebody come in and talk to
fund it.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was your blessing that you deserve. Not saying that, you know, people don't go forward with doing that, but that was something for you.
Mm-hmm. Also, you have to continue building yourself up so those blessings that you do want to give to people can happen.
Right.
So as long as you stay focused, stay fantastic, so you can improve, you'll be able to bless everyone else. Mm-hmm. Right. So you have to start celebrating those milestones, so that gives you the motivation to keep going.
Preach. So,
who are the top 3 people that motivate you to keep going?
The top 3 people that motivate
you better,
me.
I ain't gonna tell you.
She gonna beat you. You better answer wisely.
Nah, she gonna have to beat me.
I bet he know what I'm saying, but go ahead and answer.
The top 3 people, I'd say my grandma. My grandma, man, I could call her right now. She's 76 years old. She'll pick up the phone and say, Anthony! Like you can hear the
love.
the love on the phone. So I give anything for that, you know. That and I guess the person that speak life to me, I know they say you shouldn't like praise somebody, but every time I listen to this person, you know, it just changed my mindset
The
like
guy
this.
you send me all the time?
Yeah, Eric Thomas.
Yeah, he sent me those links all the time.
Eric Thomas.
He's good though.
He's the hip hop preacher, the number one motivational speaker in the
really,
world.
really good. So when he sent me links, I'll send them to you.
Yeah.
Every day.
He is so dope, and I guess I could relate to everything he's saying, and everything is like a challenge. So it's always like challenge. And I guess that's my love language, being challenged. The last one, who motivates me? What are my motivations? I would say everything that what motivates me is everything that's I want, because most of the stuff that I want is not good for me. Most of the stuff that I want, it ain't good for me. So everything I want motivate me to go past the surface and instead of wanting, get what I need. Okay. You know?
So 3, you can say you.
Yeah.
It's so difficult for you to say that. Just say you motivate yourself.
You have to say. You didn't have to break it down.
He tried so hard not to say it.
To not say himself.
You can motivate yourself. Believe in yourself. Push yourself. Do the work.
That was close.
Without you, you would not be here.
Right.
Without you. Understand that. Without you, you would not be here.
That was close.
So do the work for yourself. Now, tell the people where they can find you.
Fantastic and Only Improving on Instagram, and Diggity on Twitter, and Diggity on Facebook, Instagram.
www.fantasticandonlyimprove.com. Order your sweatshirts, your t-shirts, your tank tops, your sweatpants. What else we got? We got other slogans too.
And you're gonna be in the next pop-up shop that I have, and that's on everything.
All right.
So I feel like, I should look. We were talking too much. It's a little watered down, but we're gonna do another toast afterwards. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being fantastic.
Thank you for being the first male guest.
Right.
Oh yeah.
The only male guest of the season.
Male guest of the season. Season 2, we're gonna do a lot
celebrity.
more.
Shout out masculine toxicity.
Toxicity. Fucking asshole.
I wasn't happy with that word.
Yeah.
See, that's why I started my podcast.
Say the word. Close it out for the people. Say it for the people. Nope. Come on. We gotta close it out right.
I forgot the word. Esthetician.
Thank you for viewing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting us. Season 2 is gonna be even better. We appreciate everyone who supported us. Like, share, follow, subscribe, comment under here. Follow us on Instagram, RLRV Podcast. And on social platforms everywhere.
Real life, real views. Take us out on a ride. Real life, real views. Real quick, right over the top of the dome.
Yo, it's over.
Thank you for listening to Real Life, Real Views with Nels Love and A. Smith. Follow us at RLRV Podcast on all streaming platforms to stay connected.